What's up, guys? My name is Brandon Fuchs. I am the contractor coach found on Instagram. Welcome to our first ever podcast. I've been talking about doing a podcast for a long time, and finally the moment is here. I'm super excited about this podcast. It is really important to me and really important to a lot of contractors in the industry. The whole reason why we created this space and this community is because a long, long time ago, almost 2 decades ago, I decided to become a contractor. And in that journey, I found out real quick that it's fucking hard. It is definitely not an easy industry by any means. And you find out real quick what type of man you're going to be because you're going to be faced with all kinds of really complex challenges that you have to resolve. Because if you want to survive in this industry, you have no choice but to resolve them. And it doesn't need to be that hard at the end of the day. That's really why we created this space and created this community, because we wanted to give contractors the ability to feel more confident with their decisions by surrounding themselves with people that have already done what they're trying to do. So on this podcast, you're going to hear me talk with several different contractors that are in our community. We've got people from all over Canada and the United States that we're helping take their business to the next level. Some of them have gone from just $130,000 in revenue to $2.5 million in revenue in less than 6 months. So, I mean, this is a great community. We've got great tools. We've got great tactics. And I'm super excited to have those contractors join us live on this podcast, because I think that's what it's about. It's about the success stories. A lot of the things that I talk to our contractors about in getting them to focus on is exceeding client expectations. So when you exceed your client's expectations and they have a great experience, naturally they're going to profess about how great you are, and they're going to talk, to other people about this great service that they had with you. And then there's a good opportunity that you might be able to do some work from some of those referrals. It's the exact same scenario when we bring a contractor that we've brought into this community, that we've helped take their business to a whole nother place. And you get to hear their success. You get to hear about their the struggles they were facing before, that everyone for sure can relate to. And, just feeling that energy that we can really truly provide for people. Somebody once told me that if you could put yourself in any position of life, try and help other people. And so I've kind of always been that type of person. I just never really had intention behind it, I guess, so to speak. And so whereas now, being a contractor coach, I really have got a focused attention on taking people wherever they may be in their business and putting them where they're trying to get to as fast as possible in the straightest line possible. And we know it's not a straight line, but trying to guide them in the best direction humanly possible. I've cried on calls with some of the contractors that we've had on here, because the journey from X to Y is not a straight line. It is challenging, and it doesn't need to be. And that's, when you can see the success and you can feel their happiness, it's an incredible feeling. And so that's really what keeps me going in this. You're also going to hear me talk with some of the educators in our community. We've got a forever growing list of great, skilled individuals that are resource tools for contractors wherever they may be. We've got the best construction-based website company. We've got accountants. We've got CEPAs, so like a certified exit planner for contractors. Everybody that we find that works within our community is very, very specific on construction. And so if you could imagine the Avengers of construction, that's essentially what our community is. If you enter our space, you have every resource humanly possible to help you succeed. It's just between you and that decision of moving forward in the direction that you need to. In addition to that, we've also got tons of resources in our community, and the resources are there to help you. We've got different affiliate links, different softwares, different programs, literally everything to help you get wherever you're trying to get to. And the cool part is you're not trying to do it alone. We've got people in there that will help you guide, including myself as, one of the coaches inside of the space. I have been also working on a book for a while now. I've actually got 2 books that I'm working on, and, I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, it's not that easy to kind of come up with some of the frameworks to you can have all these ideas, but bringing it together is really what it comes down to. And so the book that we're producing is currently not named, the two books. I'm going to share a little bit about the first book, but essentially it is a blueprint for success in this industry. It's a lot of the stuff that we talk about in our group calls and in our coaching calls, but it's kind of condensed into a little book. It's super digestible. The intention of this book is to give you a little bit of insight on what you need to do. You can't put all of it in there. Obviously, there's lessons and life skills that have to be incorporated depending on where you're at within your business. But the idea is this is going to be a pretty generic blueprint book for any contractor anywhere throughout Canada and the United States that is looking to level up their business. It's a great starting point. It's a great snapshot into what it will look like if you work with us. And so I hope you really enjoy that. I hope to get that out soon. And I will definitely be posting about that on my social. And my primary space to find me is on Instagram. And so you can find me at _contractor coach. I am extremely passionate about my family. I am extremely passionate about the contractors in my community, and I'm extremely passionate about seeing people win. And so if you come to my page, expect to be motivated. I will not be negative Nancy talking anything, out of context like that. I do not like to, get into that headspace. I am a fucking human. And so sometimes, things will trigger me. I'm just like any normal man. But at the end of the day, I really try to keep things super, super focused, really try to keep things progressive where you're always trying to move forward and, be respectful and be understanding. So that's what to expect. So if you go on there, give me a follow, because the other topic that we're going to be talking about on this podcast, I don't know how frequently, maybe once a month or something like that, will be some of the questions. So I run these little open Q&As typically on the weekends. And some people drop some really good questions that would be some great topics. And so I'm hoping to kind of open up that Q&A portion where, I'll bring in some of the questions that were asked on Instagram stories, and I'll discuss them in further detail with all of you. So make sure to interact with my content, because that is going to be kind of some of the tools that we're going to use to create content on this podcast. So, that's really about it with me. I mean, at the end of the day, I hope at the very least you tune into this podcast wherever you may be within your business and you get some value. You get some information, you get some insight. I literally just want to see you win. My journey wasn't easy. I started as a contractor super young. I worked in a industrial gas plant for the early stages of my career. And then I shifted and went on my own. And when I went on my own, it was a huge wake up call, like I had said earlier. And I want to really help other people that made that same shift where they're like, I want to be an entrepreneur. And then they leave a really good paid job that they're, working for somebody where they've gathered experience, and then they go on their own and they're like, fuck, I have no idea. I don't know anything about business. And, that is really challenging for a man to, to have this motivation to do something and then find out that it was nothing like what they thought it would be. And it's only like that because you don't know what you're about to uncover through that process, because you're doing it ultimately alone. You will first market to your friends, family, and close resources, who are actually sometimes the worst clients because they have the highest expectations with the lowest budget. And you'll work with these people, and then you won't even actually understand how to get projects. So you get a taste of the cash from some of these projects. You get a little glimpse of what it looks like. It's like, oh, wow, I could make really good money doing this. Yeah, you could. But it's also really hard. Like, it also takes a lot of fucking work. And the work that you need to do is, exponentially different than what you think it might be, because you're trying to assume this is what you need to do. And you can watch every podcast. You can get all kinds of different people. One of the contractors in my space, he had like 3 or 4 different coaches. And I was like, dude, you have too many people talking to you. You got to stay focused and in line with one mission, one directive. And so outside influence can be very distracting. But at the end of the day, after that journey, I really started to master the psychology of the client and what that transition looked like, or that transaction, looked like, and how I could provide real value for the client. Like, how do you produce good value? And it's all about the people you surround yourself with. And it's no different than the inside of our community. It's the same thing. It's all about the people you surround yourself with. So I'm not going to dive into all of it here. There's so much to share with you, but I really, really appreciate you tuning in today. This is the first ever podcast that I've recorded, and I'm excited. I'd love to hear your feedback. Drop into my DMs on Instagram if you want to chat. DM coach, and we'll start the conversation. We'll learn about your business, and if there's anything that we can do to help you, I'm definitely on board. My team is fully available to help you wherever you may be within your business. So don't think that your problem is unfixable, because everything can be unfucked, so to speak, if you just surround yourself with the right people. So I really appreciate you guys today. This was quick. Our other podcasts with our other contractors and educators, definitely going to be a larger conversation, but this was just a quick one. So first ever episode. Appreciate your support. Go follow me on Instagram at @the_contractor coach. Let's fucking go.